Hello everyone, welcome to the tutorial on how to write unit test in JUnit for a simple Leetcode problem. Today we will firstly choose a Leetcode problem and write a solution for it in Java. Then we will set up our project on IntelliJ to write unit test. Then we will write unit test to check the correctness of our solution using JUnit5. And finally we will see how to achieve 100% test coverage and generate a HTML report. So let's begin and choose a simple Leetcode problem and write a solution for it. So here I have choose remove duplicates from sorted array problem. Let's understand the problem statement. Given an integer array nums sorted in a non-decreasing order, remove the duplicates in place such that each unique element appear only once. The relative order of the element should be kept the same. Then return the number of unique elements in nums. Consider the number of unique elements of nums to be k. To get accepted, you need to do following things. Change the array nums such that the first k element of nums contain the unique element in order they were present in nums initially, and the remaining elements of nums are not important as well as the size of the nums. And we have to return k. So here is an example given. We have initially provided with the nums array, which will contain duplicate as well as the unique elements. So our job is to return an output, which is the number of unique elements. For in this example, here is the unique element are 2, 1 and 2. So we will output 2. So we have to write a function which should return k equals to 2 with the first two element of nums being 1 and 2 respectively. And it does not matter what you leave behind the returned k. So hence there are underscores. So we have to just return the number 2 in our function. Let's write a solution for this problem. So I have written this solution. So here, what I'm doing is I'm firstly handling edge cases. If the input array is null or the length of the input array is 0, then I'm returning 0. And then I'm initializing the pointer as j equals to 1 for the unique elements. Then I'm reiterating through the array starting from the second element, that is I equals to 1. And if the current element, I'm matching this condition that if the current element is not equal to the previous one, then it means that it is a unique element and I'm storing it in a num for that particular pointer. And then I'm increasing the pointer by 1 and then finally returning the number of unique elements. So this is my code. Let's run it and find the solution if it is correct or not. So I can see that all the test cases are accepted. The initial number is this, and here is the unique element is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it has output the correct one. So our code is running as expected. Now let's write the unit test for this solution. So to write unit test, let's set up our project directory in our IntelliJ. So the prerequisite is to download and install IntelliJ, Maven, and JDK 1.8 or higher. After that, we can create a new project on it and select the build as Maven, JDK 1.8 or higher. Let's do that. So go to the new files and new and then select project. Just write a name of our project directory as unit test demo and select the location and select the build as Maven and JDK as 1.8. Hit create. It will create a new project. So here in the source folder, go to the mains and Java folder and hit right click and select package to create a new package as com.leetcode. Under the Leetcode package, we will create a new Java class as remove duplicates from sorted array and hit enter. Now let's copy paste our solution from the Leetcode problem. Now let's write the unit test for this Java class. To write a unit test for this Java class, hover over this class name and hit Ctrl+Shift+T. You can see this prompt will come, create new test, select this and select JUnit5 and click OK. So it will create a new test file for our Java class. As you can see, this JUnit is in red color. So we have to resolve it by clicking the more action and select JUnit5. Now you can see the error has gone. Now we can start writing our unit test. We will initialize an instance of our remove duplicate method from our remove duplicates from sorted array class. And this is the instance of our remove duplicates from sorted array class. And we will utilize in our whole file. So firstly, let's create two annotations, before all and after all. Using this before all and after all, we will be running two methods, setup and cleanup methods. So what it will do is, before executing all the unit tests, this before all annotation will run the setup method and it will print a statement, unit test begin. And after all the test cases has been passed, it will run a cleanup method using the after all annotation and it will print a statement, unit test completed successfully. Then we will be nesting all the tests related to the remove duplicate method using the nested annotation. So let's write it. And we can provide the name of our test case as display name using the display name annotation. Under this nested annotation, let's create one class as remove duplicate test. It will contain all the tests related to the remove duplicate test. It's a good practice. That's why we are using a nested loop here. So to create a test case, we have to write @test notation to indicate that this particular line of code is a test case. And we can name that test as using the display name annotation. And we will be writing all the unit test description in the should when. This is a best practice we should utilize to write a name in a JUnit. So firstly, we will be seeing that if when the duplicates are present in an array, it should return the correct count and modified array. So let's write a method with the same name. And here we have given one example of our array. I'm selecting num1 as an array and providing this example same as the Leetcode problem test case and checking a condition that the remove duplicate method is called when this num1 array is given to it. And we will store this result in a k1 variable. This variable represents the count of unique elements written by the method. Now we will check if the returned count k1 is equal to 2 using the assert equal check assertion. And also we will be checking if the first k1 elements of the modified array num1 array matches the expected unique element. So we will be using assert array equals assertion for this. So this java.util.array.copyof will create a copy of num1 and this k1 what we have captured from the remove duplicate method by providing this array, and it will capture the solution and will check with the expected outcome. So this thing should return 1, 2 elements in the array. If this matches, then our test case is passed. Similarly, in the assert equals, we will be checking if the expected outcome is 2 or not. So this is the test case we have created when the duplicates are present. Now let's do one more test. When the array is empty, it will return a 0. It will cover our edge case of the code. So when the array is empty, then when we are going to call the remove duplicate method by providing this num4 array, it will capture the solution in k4, and then we will assert equal both the k4 and our expected outcome, that is 0. And if it matches, then this test case will pass. Similarly, let's do one more test. When the array has one element, then it will return 1 as an outcome. So if the array has one element only, then it will return 1. also in the modified array, that one element will be present. Let's do one more test. When all elements are same, then it should return 1. Only one element that is same. So for example, if the array has 1, 1, 1 as an element, and so all are duplicates, only the 1 is a unique element, so it will return 1, and in the element of the array, it will return 1. Now let's cover one more element test, that when all the elements are unique, then it will return the correct count of the modified array and also the modified array. So here I'm giving an example 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it has all the unique elements. So the number is 5. It will check, and also the modified array is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now let's do one more test. So in this test, we are checking if the array is null, then it will throw an exception, that is illegal argument exception. So to do this, we have to initialize we have to define an executable lambda expression that calls the remove duplicate method with a null argument. This lambda will use to check if the method throws an expected exception or not. So let's do that, define it. And now using the assert throw method to check the executable throws an illegal argument exception, the thrown exception is captured in the exception variable. So we are using this assert throw method. And now we will verify if the expected message is defined with the expected exception message. So to do that, let's write expected message as input array cannot be null. So this is our expected message, and what is our actual message we will capture in an actual message variable. So this using this exception, which is thrown by this executable, if this illegal argument exception is captured by this exception, and we will be storing in an actual message, then we will call assert true method to check if the actual message contains the expected message or not. That is, input array cannot be null. So if this pass, then this test case will pass. If it returns false, then it will face this test case. Now we have written all the test cases. Let's run our test file. Right click on the screen and select remove duplicates from sorted array test and hit enter. So it will run our test case file and will execute all the test cases which we have defined. As you can see, all the test cases has been passed. 7 of 7 test cases has been passed. And also this before all and after all annotations are also executed with the setup and cleanup method print statement as unit test begins and unit test completed after successfully. All the test cases have been passed. And here you can see the summary that our nested test case, that is test for remove duplicate method, containing 7 test cases individually. So here you can see the summary. This is how we will be performing the unit test. As you saw, we have written all the unit tests using JUnit5, and we have covered the basic functionality, edge cases, null and empty arrays, arrays with no duplicates. So everything is covered. Let's see what we have done. So firstly, we created 2 annotations before all and after all to run setup and cleanup methods for all the tests. Then we nested all the tests related to the remove duplicate method using nested annotation. And then finally, to cover the 100% test coverage for remove duplicate from sorted array class, including all methods, lines, and branches, we wrote several test methods with best practice and coding standard using should and when format by describing the methods and also using name, given, when, and then conditions in the test methods. We covered all the basic functionalities like edge cases, null, and empty arrays, and arrays with no duplicates. Now let's run the test coverage and generate a HTML report. So to do this, go to the IntelliJ, and you can see this 3 dot in top. Now select run remove duplicate from sorted array test with coverage. Hit enter, and you can see the test coverage report has been generated, and it will say how much of the test coverage has been covered. So we have covered the 100% test case. And to generate a HTML report, you can see this button, generate coverage report. Click it and click on save. It will create a folder HTML report in our project directory, and it will create a HTML report which we can utilize to see the test coverage. Here it is. Here is the example it has generated. So same thing, class, method, branch, and line are all 100% covered. So this is how you can write unit test for any of the code. Thank you for watching.